Today, I'm excited to be talking to Derek Caldwell about how he has used a tool called Make. You can go to make.com to learn more about it, to essentially make his CRM, in this case specifically Follow Up Boss, be super powered in a way per se. So, Derek, thank you for taking the time to chat about these cool, I guess, systems and workflows you created in Make.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, well, before we dive into the topic, for those who don't know you, can you share a little bit about yourself, where you're located, and a little bit about your team?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Derek. I'm a team leader out of Northern Kentucky and Cincinnati, Ohio. We're uniquely positioned in a way that our team can be tri-licensed. So our team services the Northern Kentucky market primarily, but we also do Cincinnati, Ohio, and Southern Indiana, which is really nice. I've been in the business for roughly 5 years now, and on top of leading a team of highly productive agents, I also coach highly productive agents with Tom Ferry as well. So it's been a fun journey since getting inside the business of helping grow and build a team and making our agents locally successful, but also expanding that out nationwide to help other agents have success too.
Yeah, that's great. I know at least just within the Facebook community of Follow Up Boss, you're always very giving. You're one of the moderators and always come from
Yes,
a place of value and service. So we really appreciate that in the community. And I'm sure your coaching clients and your team appreciate that for sure. Uh,
absolutely.
Yeah, and to learn more a bit about your team, can you share like who's in the team, who's the staff, um, how many people, and that sort of makeup?
Yeah, so I co-lead the team with my mom. So she's been in the business for roughly 20 years, and we're in that fun transition phase where she's, hoping to exit the business here in the next few years as I kind of take the reins and move forward from there. We have seven, if you take her and I out, seven highly productive agents on the team, as well as two administrative staff. I would consider myself on admin because I really do the operational side of things and coaching. We're really proud of our team. Last year, we did 214 transactions for about $58 million worth of volume. And we're proud of that because if you take leadership out of it, we only did, from a leadership perspective, about 30 transactions last year. So our per agent productivity is about 25 to 27 units per agent, which is amazing. That's what we've been really gearing towards, and that's what we recruit towards on the team too. Is we can help you be a success through coaching and systems like Follow Up Boss. So it's been really rewarding for us and our agents as well.
Yeah, well, congratulations on that success
Thanks.
and that growth. Do you have also dedicated transaction coordinators
We
or
do.
virtual assistants as well?
Yeah, everybody's in house. So we have a dedicated transaction coordinator, and she uses Open to Close as well as Follow Up Boss to manage her workflow. And I feel like just with those tools alone, we're barely tapping into her potential because she can run 214 transactions no problem. So I'm excited as we grow and move forward with our business, what that allows her to do. We have a dedicated listing manager on staff too. So she takes care of all of our listings from pre-listing all the way to getting it in the MLS and then marketing as well. And then we have offsite photographer, videographer, and social media as well. So
Yeah.
it's a oiled machine, I guess. We're constantly revamping our processes to make it easier on us. So
Yeah,
we
you're
keep
not the
busy,
only
that's for
ones.
sure.
I'm sure
Yeah,
most people are
exactly.
constantly, it's, a true entrepreneurial venture that you do as a real estate agent. You are
Oh yeah,
starting a true business, definitely.
for
Um,
sure.
how did you get into real estate? How did you decide to start?
Um, it's funny. So before real estate, I was in, and I think what kind of helps with the progression of automation and AI of what I've been trying to do inside of the FUB community as well as our team is before real estate, I was in web design and development. Like I
Oh,
did
okay.
graphic design and web design and helped a lot of small companies in Lexington, Kentucky kind of build their online presence with a small local company. And my wife was working nights at the hospital. She is a nurse, and now she's a nurse practitioner. But she didn't want to work nights and weekends anymore. So we initially moved back home, which is Northern Kentucky, to pursue real estate in hopes that she could not have to work nights and weekends. And we were starting a family, so her goal was to be stay at home. It's funny how things work because through the move, she went and got her advanced degree and became a nurse practitioner. Now she crushes it what she does. But it's just funny how we move for one reason and it completely changes both
Yeah.
of our outlooks on what we thought life was going to be.
Yeah, yeah. But does she still work nights and weekends or does she have more?
No, no, no. So that's been
Yeah.
accomplished. She has the best schedule as you could ask for a nurse. So everything completed, like for her, it ended up being amazing. And I get to work alongside, my mom as co-team leader and as she's making this transition and excelling her business. And it's just been a really humbling experience making the transition a few years ago. And I'm excited to see where like the next 10 years goes for our team for sure.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And well, so your background makes perfect sense then of why you
Yeah.
decided to dive into to make.com because it's not easy.
No.
I haven't learned it. It goes over my head. People try to send me videos. I said I don't have the bandwidth or the desire to learn this. So that makes sense because that was going to be my next question is how did you get into make? But I guess that still could be a question. Like I know given your background, you had that benefit of being able to learn the tool faster. But what made you decide to learn make.com and start to create these workflows?
Um, Out of pain, really. So we had since we do so many deals, our agents are constantly asking for things of like, if this could happen and this happened, then it would make our lives so much easier. Out of those conversations, we were trying to build them inside of Zapier, but kept getting roadblocked by limitations. Make is definitely one of the tools where I feel like it's kind of frustrating to begin with, but their community, their online community is really solid, just kind of like how Follow Up Bosses is. So I think, if we're not afraid to jump into the FUB community and start asking questions and creating conversations, then doing that in everyone's communities for their products is really important. So I really leveraged Meg's community. There's really good YouTube videos. I think I know what I'm doing, but then I jump on a forum or YouTube and then slowly realize that I have no clue what I'm doing. It's all about breaking and fixing and things of that nature. Like I'll be the first to admit I've deleted thousands of tags off our systems just from making one small mistake, but it's all a part of learning. So I feel like if you're wanting to learn how to do automation and automate your business, then don't be afraid to go in and make mistakes and then ask questions to our community, but the Make community as well. And if you know any developers in your local market, like they are huge resources. So I definitely have connected to some website designers here locally and asked them questions on like, what does this specific thing mean? And that's really helpful, especially as you start getting into webhooks.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
just don't
for
be afraid
those,
to jump in.
yeah, yeah, definitely. So for those who don't know, what is make.com?
Yeah, so the easiest thing that I think I can describe Make as is just a like a host of application specific. It's a tool that allows you to connect multiple applications to work alongside one another. When I help agents start to understand Make, I always have them work backwards. So what's the end result goal that you have and what you're trying to accomplish? And then working backwards going, well, what would it take for that to actually happen? And eventually you'll end at your starting point. The confusing thing about Make is as you work forward, and just like Zapier too, you're always looking in previous steps. So if you
Mhm.
start at your end result and work backwards, then you can flip that back into Make and then start forwards and go to the end. So it's a really great tool that has thousands of connections between different applications. And the reason why I like it more than Zapier is its ability to be um, friendly with APIs. So Follow Up Boss has their API, and Make does a really good job of integrating into that API and giving you more data than what Zapier could give us. So that's why I've kind of invested all my time inside of Make. So it just
Yeah.
allows you to talk to other platforms
Yeah,
in a
yeah. I've heard
short.
the same thing that it's once you learn it, it's so much better than Zapier
Yeah.
and
And it's
work.
cleaner looking. I like Make displays everything horizontally and Zapier is all vertically. And I really like the horizontal view of things. So I think, I don't know, design nut. So if it looks pretty, then I'm more apt to use it. And Zapier looks so antiquated for me.
Yeah. Well, let's dive in. If you don't mind sharing first, what is like your number one favorite workflow you've created in Make?
Yeah, I have two that I really enjoy inside of Make. A lot of the FUB community has I think found value in the AI call notes. So I don't mind showing the back end of what that looks like for us and our team, and then I'll show you our appointment emails as well that I think are really beneficial. So this is Make. I really like again the horizontal view because I can see and kind of zoom into my starting points. And so for us, this all came about having a conversation with our Zillow rep. And as embarrassing as it is to say, when our Zillow rep visited town, and you know we're a Zillow Flex team, and we rely a lot on our ability to talk back and forth between Zillow and Follow Up Boss. In
Mm-hmm.
a nice roundabout way, our rep told us that our notes were terrible. Like they were all just status unchanged, no update. Like they were just not good for what they were looking to see. And as a team leader, I took offense to that because I'm like, we're trying to build SOPs around lead flow and nurturing those leads. So I made a commitment that the next time our rep came into town, he would be impressed with our notes and not, you know, give us bad feedback on how our notes were inside of Zillow. So that was the goal. We worked backwards. Okay, well, to have the notes be added to Follow Up Boss, I need to somehow transcribe the phone call. And so we partnered with OpenAI through their Whisper platform and ChatGPT to listen to a phone call and then take that phone call transcription and pass it through ChatGPT to be able to give us call notes. And then we worked backwards. So probably the hardest thing that is intimidating, but also actually I think an easier thing is knowing what webhooks are. So a webhook is essentially data that's posted to a URL. And what we're doing is anytime a call is recorded or logged inside a Follow Up Boss, that call URL is being posted to a webhook. In Follow Up Boss, it's called call created. So once FUB posts that URL, we're grabbing that URL, and now we're trying to figure out, well, who does that call belong to? So once we have the URL, we have to figure out what the call actually is based on the call ID. And then based on that call ID, I can figure out, okay, who is the call made to, and then who is the call made from. So then I can actually pull the details of the lead inside a Follow Up Boss. So now once I have those three pieces of information, call ID and person ID, or who the person is, then everything can work pretty seamlessly. So I can download the call, get the call in a file format that's understandable through Whisper, and then
Mm-hmm.
Whisper will take that call audio and change it to text-based. And then I can send it through ChatGPT and prompt it all day long for notes and feedback. And then we post that right back in the Follow Up Boss. So it looks really pretty at the end of the day. I'll pull up our Follow Up Boss account and show you what it looks like. And it's been really, really helpful. So it's one, completed the satisfaction from our Zillow rep of having good call notes, because as the agent has the phone call, they're automatically having their conversation logged as a note inside of FUB, and that's being put right back into the system. And it's helping the agent, so they're not having to pull off on the side of the road if they're driving and take notes and then get back to the house and understand the notes. Like it's just all working seamlessly in the back end.
Yeah, that
And
saves so
so,
much time.
oh, it saves an incredible amount of time. So these are what the notes look like. And so it's just a quick recap of the conversation. This is just notes. Based on the client stage, we've also built in coaching feedback. Like a Zillow team, we're very much graded on appointment, location, motivation, ALM. Well, I can give that as feedback to the agent, and I can coach them and give them a rating on how their call performed based on the metrics that we're giving ChatGPT. So if the agent didn't ask for the appointment and they're a Zillow lead that doesn't have an appointment set and they don't ask for the appointment, they're going to get graded, 1 or 2. But if they ask for the appointment, they're going to get a really high score. So it just gives them instant feedback on how they can improve. And it's really helpful for prospecting sessions if they're getting, feedback it happens within a couple minutes of the phone call, then they can use that for their next phone call. And so we've actually seen our appointment conversion go up just because of this one AI tool, which has been super fascinating for us.
Yeah, that is so cool to see. Yeah, saving time, peace of mind for you as the team owner, for coaching purposes, and being able to see all those notes nice and clean and in this and same format as well. But then also for Zillow and the need for that. And
Yeah.
you can then further enforce the need and necessity for your team members to actually use the FUB dialer.
Yes.
I'm sure you probably have that as an expectation for team members. If they onboard with your team, they have to be okay with transitioning away from using their personal cell phone number and using the FUB number. But
Yeah.
then you can offer this as a what?
Reward.
Yeah, I was a reward. Like if you use the dialer, we're gonna make the notes automatically for you. So that is
Yeah. We
cool to
got a
see.
lot of pushback in the beginning when we transitioned to FUB a few years ago. We have the rule, like if it doesn't exist in Follow Up Boss, then it never happened, in our opinion. So that includes logging appointments. My transaction coordinator and listing coordinator all call through Follow Up Boss. I call through Follow Up Boss. It's just the expectation that we have. But if you're on a team, the biggest asset that we have is teamwork. And so if my transaction coordinator is working on a file, but she can go back and hit the highlights and read the notes of your conversation, then that's only going to help her be more successful, and vice versa from the TC back to the agent. So it just creates this harmony around our call cadence, and it's like nothing's hitting now. So if we're in a one-on-one, you can bring up a conversation, we can pull it right up in FUB, and I can give you additional coaching based on what the AI has already told you. So it's been a great addition to our team. We love it.
Yeah, a random thought. I don't know if it's possible or if anyone has thought of this idea. There can often be really long email threads with clients. I wonder if there's a way to like post a tag to Follow Boss and say to pull the latest email thread of like 15
Ooh,
emails with the client and create a note summary of what was said. So that way, when you go back to Follow Boss, you aren't having to expand every email and read through every email, because sometimes it can be like expand and there's 15 in there or 20 in there.
that would be an amazing idea. I'll have to look into that. That's a good
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
And we use Make for a lot of different things. Like I know you wanted to show me to show you a couple of them. There's a few different solutions out there for appointment outcomes. We were researching into them, and what we kind of discovered was for highly productive agents who are out showing and going on showings and buyer consultations and listing appointments, especially if they're going on multiple a day, being able to assist them with logging their efforts. Because if they took the time to put it into Follow Up Boss, then to go back at the end of the day or end of the week and update everything can be a little cumbersome. And some of the solutions out there right now are what I would consider like matter of fact instant solutions, where if I go on appointment, I would get a message to respond to satisfy that appointment. But if
Mhm.
I don't do it and I go on another appointment, it's overwritten. And so I've lost the opportunity
Oh.
to log that appointment. And so what we did was create a appointment outcome, essentially email, that would make contact with the agent 2 hours after their scheduled appointment. And then it's set up as interactive. So the agent can interact with the email. And then based on their choice, no matter if they did it 2 hours after the appointment or 2 weeks after the appointment, it would still update inside of Follow Up Boss, whatever they chose. So this is
Yeah, I'd
all
love to
built
see
out
that.
through make.com too. This is what the agent would receive. So they get this email. It only works for buyer consultations, listing appointments, and we separate out first showings and showings. because we send this for first time showings, not all showings, because some our agents are showing 4, 5, 10 houses on a Saturday. So they would just get completely overwhelmed.
Bombarded,
I
yeah.
can't take credit for this idea. This idea actually came from our team because we reward them for activity and FUB. Like we use the leaderboard extremely heavily on our team to give
Mhm.
awards. And if they're going in and putting their appointments to get credit for that, then I want to reward them by helping them log those appointments. So like Pam on our team had a buyer consultation with a brand new client yesterday at 11 a.m. At 1 p.m., she got this email and she could click into here, like, how did that appointment go? Well, if she clicks, I'm working with the client, then the appointment outcome and FUB would change to working with client or appointment met or whatever you have set up in your Follow Up Boss account to accomplish. And then the stage would change and a note would be automatically placed inside of FUB. So that way the entire client profile is updated just off one email click, and vice versa. For if they didn't show up or they weren't working together, they could click on client didn't show. The appointment would be changed to no show or not working with client. And then the stage would not change. And then a note would be placed inside of FUB too. This has been really, really cool for our team because it's not matter of fact. So whether they do it today or tomorrow, it's still going to update that one client, and we're doing
Yeah.
it all through webhooks. So it's really, really cool. And they can kind of take care of it on their own leisure. For us as a team, from a team leader aspect, now I have really, really good data. So when I go back to our appointment log at the end of the year and I'm looking at how many buyer consultations that our agents set, and then how many did we win and how many did we lose, is really, really, really crucial for planning for next year. And likewise on the agent side too, just by being on top of interacting with these emails, now they have really good data next year as well when they go plan their 2025 business plan, because they know exactly how many appointments they went on, what were the outcomes. So if they want to go on or sell 20 listings next year, I can tell them exactly how many appointments they have to go on just based off of this one automation, which
Mhm.
is, it's really, really awesome. We love it.
Yeah, yeah. And if you love data analytics, you can also narrow it down by lead source type. Like, is there a pattern of when we do
Yeah.
these listing and buyer consultations, is there a certain lead source that doesn't convert as high as another one? And yeah, like you said, is super helpful for your reporting of appointments to be very accurate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Were those the main two you wanted to show today, or was there any other ones you
Oh,
open
oh
to
my
show?
gosh. I guess it depends on how much time you have because we have so much built out in Make.
Let's do one more.
Let's do one more. Okay. So the other one that I really, really like, that I think is really powerful for any team, but I would say the majority would be Zillow teams or people that are really in with Zillow, is an automation that we created for deals. I am a huge fan of the deals pipeline. For me, being able to sit down in the deals pipeline and like I'll go ahead and pull one of my agents up. It's really powerful to sit down with the agent and walk them through their opportunities. And so for Allison on our team, she has 25 clients that she's currently selling houses for $8.3 million. Like for an average agent in our marketplace, that's a lot of volume. Like most of the agents on our team will sell about 10 million of volume within a year. Like
Mhm.
Allison has 8 million in her pipeline right now. So being able to have coaching moments with her and asking, hey, how do we move, some of these people into submitting offers, and how do we move those submitting offers into under contract, is really powerful.
Mhm.
But it's a lot of work to expect the agent to always keep their pipelines updated because it's traditionally a manual process inside of Follow Up
Mhm.
Boss. Well, since we have to use the Zillow stages because we're a Zillow Flex team, we've replicated those stages into our current buyer and current seller pipeline, and we're
Mhm.
automating the client stage into their deal stage so that way their deal gets created. And even if you're not a Zillow team, if you're not leveraging your deals pipelines, this automation could be changed so that if I move somebody from stage lead to stage A, hot buyer, then I would want to replicate those into the deal stage. That could be done too, but it just keeps your opportunities pipeline so updated, so that way you never miss anybody. So if I move this test lead from stage lead to spoke with customer, it's going to automatically create the deal for me.
Oh,
And
nice.
this is all done in Make. And as I update the stage, it's going to automatically update the deal as well,
Mm.
hopefully.
Yeah, it might take a second.
And it's been really nice. So that way our agents, their deals pipeline is always updated. Of course, it's not going to work for me as I'm on the call, but it does update.
Technology, it never works when you want it to.
It does update, and it works for sellers too. So if I remove the buyer tag, and let's say through lead flow they came in as a seller, it would create the deal and put them in the seller pipeline as well. So now see how it came in as the seller deal as well. So it's just a really neat automation that keeps our FUB updated at all times. And we've really built out Follow Up Boss for our team, where the expectations from an agent's perspective is, as long as your stage is up to date, as long as you make your calls inside of Follow Up Boss, and as long as your appointments are logged, then through AI and automation, I've committed to help you maintain your CRM as to the best of my ability and help you be more productive. So those are like the three non-negotiable requirements for our team: is stage, calls, and appointments. And
Mhm.
then through all the automation, we're rewarding those activities by keeping their database really updated and current.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's so cool. Yeah, those three things that you just showed right there, each each workflow you create saves so much time, and it helps your agent stay efficient and focus on the higher dollar
Yeah,
activities rather than administrative things. And same thing for if you had an admin doing those things, that's so many hours an admin have to do manually. And again, the admin can focus on higher dollar, more important activities rather than these silly little stage changes, deal creations, appointment outcomes, and little things like that. So I'm sure people watching this are probably saying, "Oh my gosh, yes, I need stuff like this in my follow-up boss for me. If I'm a solo agent, that'll still save me time even if I don't have a team, but especially if I do have a team of brokerage." But maybe probably their eyes are glazing over looking at this saying,
yeah.
"I'm a real estate agent. I'm not a web developer. I can't be expected to do these things." So is this something that you help others create?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, feel free to connect with me on the Facebook community or through Instagram or Facebook, and I'd love to figure out what people's needs are and help them automate their workflow. I mean, I heard this year, I don't know if it was at a Tom Ferry event or maybe it was through Keller Williams. We're not Keller Williams, but I love listening to other brokerages seminars because there's so much value that we can all learn from one another. But someone made mention of the term CRM hygiene, and I love
Mm,
that. You know,
mm,
and Elena, your main goal is to help people become more proficient in Follow Up Boss. Just like I love that too. And if I can help an agent have really clean hygiene in their CRM, then it can only help them become a better agent. And we can do a lot through automation, but there's back work too. Like the agent has to be willing to do a little bit of the legwork as well. But as soon as you stop interacting with your CRM and committing yourself to making sure that it's clean and have good hygiene, then that's when it all starts to break down. So
yeah,
I love helping agents create good CRM hygiene.
yeah, yeah. Well, so what is your Instagram handle if people want to reach you on Instagram?
Yeah. So find me at Instagram at D Caldwell, and then Facebook. I think my tag there is D Caldwell as well. Yeah, I'd love to connect with anybody who's looking to up their FUB game.
Yeah, and if you use Follow Up Boss and you're not in the Facebook group, to make sure you're joining the official one, it's called Follow Up Boss Success Community. Join there, and Derek is in that group as well as myself. But Derek, thank you so much. This is so
Yes.
cool to see. I was also just very curious, selfishly to see those things as well. So I appreciate you not only sharing
Yeah,
me, but with the community. I'm sure people will find it very helpful.
absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Derek. Have a good rest of your day. Bye bye.
See ya.